Hello, boys and girls, and a happy Friday to you. The beginning what looks like a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Having a beautiful day on the Hudson, enjoying myself. So anyway, a few minutes ago, maybe half an hour ago, I'm in the hot tub trying to get my back to release itself from the pain that it has been causing me in the last 3 days. Minding my own business. I put aside my shoes and my goggle to go into the pool eventually. And I'm sitting there in the hot tub, enjoying myself. And all of a sudden, this man bends down, comes over to where my shoes are, picks up my goggles, says something, which I couldn't hear because, I'm in the hot tub and he's talking from a distance. And I finally he kept looking at them and swinging them at me. And I said, "What are you doing? They're mine. Put them down." And he said, "Oh, are they really yours?" I said, "Yes, they're mine. Why are you asking?" "Oh, okay." And then that was that. So then as I'm coming out of the hot tub, there was a beautiful lady who I just talked to for the last 40 minutes. Puerto Rican lady with her granddaughter, and she said to me, "Oh, he's just so rude. Did you hear what he actually said to you?" And I said, "No, I didn't." "What did he say?" He said, "Well, he came over and said, 'Why did you take these?'" I said, "What?" She says, "Yeah, he said, 'Why did you take these?'" I said, "What an asshole." So I said, "Thank you for letting me know." And stupid me, I assumed that was the wife. So I go over to him and I said, "You know what? You need to really have good manners and stop accusing people. I just found out what you said to me. I didn't take anything. That goggle was bought to match my bathing suit. There's a way of asking people for things." "Well, I said, and wait, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. And I said, "And if your grandson lost it, that's not on my problem. But, these are made for a lot of people." And I said grandson because I really wanted to get his vanity, because I know it wasn't his grandson. It was probably his son. But he had silver light hair. So I said, "Fuck you. I'm gonna get you where it's going to hurt." Anyway, so then he says to me, "You need to calm down." I said, "You need to not tell me what to do, first of all. I don't know who you are. But when you start out with accusing people of taking things that don't belong to them, you're going to have a problem." I said, "I'm very happy that I didn't know until just now when your wife told me." "What are you talking about? She's not my wife." I go, "Okay, well then the lady just told me what you said. And you know what? You're rude." "Well, I said, "Listen, you know what? I don't care what your problem is. You don't come up to somebody with that kind of attitude. You know what? It would have been nice if you came up and said, 'Hey, a few days ago I lost my grandson lost his goggles. They look similar to these. Did you happen to pick these up at the pool, by mistake or whatever?' There's a way of coming, not the way you came at me." I said, "You're an asshole." And he goes, "Don't call me an asshole." I go, "You're an asshole." I go, "And now I'm just going to walk away from you. And if you keep bothering me, I'm going to call security." "I'm not bothering you. You bothered me." Obviously, there's a language barrier, or he had an accent of some sort. I don't know what he was. And I said, "Listen, I have been in this building 23 years of my life. Never have ever had a problem with anyone. Ever. You're the first experience. Don't let it be my last one. Okay? I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. I said what I had to say. Now go away. I'm going to go sit in my chair and go away. And by the way, your grandson," he goes, "Stop saying my grandson. That's my son." I said, "Okay, well, your son, you're setting a very bad example for him. Everything that you're doing right now, what are you teaching him? What, did you think, oh, it's a woman, so I'm going to just step all over her? No, it doesn't happen that way." Let me just backtrack here. I was the daughter of a father who was the baby of a family of 8. So when I came into the world, All his brothers and sisters already had children, and I was the baby of the baby. On my mother's side of the family, she was the oldest, so I got to be the older cousin. On my father's side of the family, there were always boys older than me. My father also had cousins, and when we came to America, and one of his cousins, my uncle Hugo, he wasn't an uncle, but I would still call him my uncle, was a cousin to my dad, had two boys. They were older than me. And they used to torture me until finally my dad would talk to my uncle and say, listen, you've spanked the boys, you've talked to them. I gotta let her do what she has to do, because, you know, it's just they're not gonna stop torturing her. You know, she's little, she's cute, and she's sweet, but you know, they're not gonna stop. And then once my dad would give me permission to beat the shit out of my cousins, I beat the shit out of my cousins. One of my cousins in Ecuador, named Julio, has a scar across his forehead for pulling my hair one time too many. And the day that my dad finally said, listen, I've had enough of this craziness. Your uncle has tried. I have tried. I'm going to talk to your uncle. The next time Julio pulls your hair, just beat the shit out of him. Well, after he told me that, and my uncle was, yep, let her beat him up. I waited very patiently and found my mother's biggest heel shoe. And we used to have like a courtyard where we lived in Ecuador. And my cousins would always play with a pebble. They had some kind of freaking pebble game. And I went down those stairs after Julio pulled my hair, went back upstairs, got my mother's high-heeled shoe, came downstairs and attacked him. They had to remove me from him as the blood kept pouring out of his head. So he has a scar. A few years ago, he came here for a visit, and his wife goes, oh, you're that Patty. You're the Patty that gave him the scar. I go, yeah, because he kept pulling my hair. My uncle kept spanking him. My father would tell him, I really don't want to release her, because once I release her, she's going to kill you. I'm telling you, she is evil. As sweet and kind and as loving as she is, when she gets cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, she gets evil. Don't make me release her. Needless to say, my uncle, when the beating took place, just laughed it off. He was like, well, guess you're not pulling Patty's hair anymore. My mother, on the other hand, when my father got home from work that day, she had me kneeling in rice. My father comes home and goes, why is she kneeling in rice? What's wrong? So my mom starts to tell him. My father said he had to run down the stairs because my father I'm sorry, Daddy, I still think you're with me. My dad had a laugh as strong as mine. He said he ran downstairs because he started to crack up. He couldn't believe that Julio had to be taken to the hospital because I beat the shit out of him. So anyway, the man has now left the pool. I embarrassed him so much. I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I didn't curse. I just simply told him where he needed to get off. And so I cut his testicles. You know what? Men in general, whether they're straight or whether they're gay, they look at me and they think, oh, sweet little Patty, she's so cute, you're adorable. No, I'm not. I am all that, but I am like the little gremlin. Remember the gremlin? Don't get me wet, because then I get crazy. I love you, I respect you, but if you come after me, my mouth will remove your testicles. As I said to a cousin of mine a few years ago when we got into a very heated argument at a family gathering, and I grabbed him by the neck and I said, listen to me, you little mother pika 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 quaka. I'm older than you, and you will not be disrespectful to me. I may not have a penis, but I have big brass balls. And right now, I'm going to slap you in front of everybody here right now, because that's what we do as a family. And I did slap the little son of a bitch because he was being fresh. And his mother said, can you do another side of his face? Because he deserves another slap for what he just said to you. I said, okay. Boom. He got smacked. That's how I grew up with. This is the kind of family of Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs that I grew up with. And especially the women in my family on both sides. They're all insane. So men beware, straight or gay. Don't poke the bear. Have a nice day.